right, I'm getting flooded with a lot of questions in my email asking me about a new video that just came out over at Athlean X. Jeff put up a great video addressing concerns over spinal and compression of the vertebrae in neck from neck bridges and how this can be very problematic because it can compress spine, compress your nerves, pinching nerves, cause all sorts of pain and so on and so forth. And this is an extremely important thing to address. Pain is something we always want to avoid, even mild discomfort whenever possible. Because after all, training is a neurological process. And when you have pain, pain is not weakness leaving the body, it's weakness actually invading the body. And when you have pain or even discomfort, your brain's gonna put on those neurological brakes that say, don't push yourself very hard. So if we remove the pain, or we even remove that feeling of like, not so sure if this is safe, then we remove those brakes and the neurological power can come through and you can work far more effectively. Now, before I address ideas on how we can work around this, the first thing I want to say is, why are we worried about compression in the neck, but not the rest of the spine? Because we're like, well, we don't want to press down on the neck and compression of the neck vertebrae and so forth. And totally fine, I get that. But we're fine loading 500 pounds on our back or lifting heavy deadlifts and heavy carries and stuff. That's going to load your spine and compress down your spine, even if your technique is perfect. I'm not saying like this doesn't mean the neck compression's not bad. I'm not saying that's bad and the other way is good. I just think it's an interesting question that we need to start asking ourselves. But anyway, neck bridges. How do we work this safe? Now, Jeff has some great suggestions in a video about having a plate and doing this, which is a classic technique, been used for ages. Personally, I've never done it. I'm not a weightlifter. I don't lift weights, so I can't really comment on it, but I'll put the video down below. You check it out, try it, see what you like. But for me, here's what I've been doing instead. I recommend treat it as an isometric. Just hold a position and don't move. That way everything is where you want it to be, and at the end of the day, tension is tension. It doesn't have to be with movement. It doesn't have to be done a certain way. As long as there's tension in the muscle, it's gonna get bigger and stronger, regardless of how the tension or why the tension is there. Second of all, I recommend that we have more of a resistance applied, not so much from the top of the head, but to the front and the back, like when Jeff had the plate, you know, on the back of his head, the front of the head, and so on. And we can do this with body weight just as well. What I recommend is find like a bench or some elevated surface or whatnot, and place your forehead into the front of it, and then apply pressure that way. So now you have pressure going towards the front or the back of your head, and it's not that spinal compression that we have to worry about. And you just do the reverse. You do like a hip bridge sort of idea, you know, where you put the back of your head, bridge on up, and then you hold there. And I find not only is that less stress on the vertebrae, there's much less compression and whatnot, but it's just a hell of a lot more effective for the muscles in general. So there's my 2 cents. I'll put Jeff's video down below, link down to it. Watch the two, contrast and compare, and see what works best for you. Let me know if you have questions as well in the comments section. Be fit, live free.